Well, I'm Herman Tibbs. I've been a truck driver for 23 years. I don't know if I like it or just don't know any better. Yeah, I ask myself that every day. But I've got a 20-year-old son. Genius in his own right. Back when he was about 10 years old, I go to the doctor. I come back. He said, well, how'd it go? I said, not too good. This new medicine, the doctor says, I can only have one drink a month. I'm like, what's the use? And he's like, well, Dad, he didn't say what size the drink had to be. But I'll tell you what, recently I was out in southern Oklahoma. I always go there on my way to Texas for some reason. They were really mixed up. They were so mixed up. I turn on the TV. They actually have the Dukes of Hazzard playing on the Disney Channel. But, you know, out there on the road, see a lot of wildlife that you wouldn't imagine. I mean, the case in point would be the lot lizard, the recreational reptile, also known as a truck stop hooker. One of these things comes slithering up to my truck one night. She looks up at me and she's like, how's about a nice BJ? And she smiles at me and I'm like, ah! I thought I was looking down the mouth of Jaws. It was scary. I'm like, no, I don't think so. She said, what's the matter, don't you like? Well, little did she know, I had the Bible open across my steering wheel and I showed her. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And her mouth drops open. Yes, I'm looking at Jaws again. And she walks away. But you know what? It's not like the good old days. Now, with the things that look like that, you get, instead of crabs, you got to worry about lobsters waiting to reach out and snap something off. But you're better off. Just be faithful. Have a good woman at home. You come home from work or a hard road trip. You're like, honey, my neck and back are killing me. Can I get a massage? So, like the good lady she is, you can get face down on the bed. She starts rubbing your neck and works down your shoulders and your back. Some of you know what I'm talking about here. And by the time she's done, voila, the pain's gone, the soreness is gone, stress is all gone. But somehow now, that stiffness has moved to the front part of the man's body. And he's like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Uh-huh. And he's like, honey, I think you missed a spot. He's like, could you kiss it and make it better? But you know, Foxworthy, he came out with this, you might be a redneck with all these tests. Well, I've got one about truck drivers, and I know there's got to be at least one in the audience. You might be a super trucker. For instance, there's some conditions. If your tractor and trailer has more lights than Times Square on New Year's Eve, you might be a super trucker. If the lights and chrome on your tractor and trailer cost more than you make in a year, you might be one. If your air horns have more trumpets than the Dayton Philharmonic Orchestra, you might just be a super trucker. If you have so many lights that small aircraft try to land on your trailer at night, you might be a super trucker. If your commercial driver's license has more points than the scoreboard in an NBA basketball game, you might be a super trucker. And if when you take the wife out to dinner and that local lot lizard walks up and calls you by name, now you might be in deep shit then. You see, okay, I want to leave you with a final thought. You've seen the commercials about Viagra and all those drugs. I mean, you know, they make it look great, glamorous. I mean, and then they make it look like it works so good, and it's like, if you have an erection for more than 4 hours, you should see your doctor. Forget about the doctor. We're talking a hot date or a honeymoon here. What did I pay $15 for this pill for? Anyway. Thank you very much. Anyway, I'd like to introduce our next comic to come on stage. Let's give it up and make it feel good for Adrian Cosby.